When fuel prices go up, most people think it only matters when they fill their car. But fuel is hidden inside almost everything you buy. Your groceries, deliveries, flights, packaging, and store prices all depend on fuel somewhere in the chain. So today we're looking at why one rising number at the petrol station can quietly make everything feel more expensive. When people see fuel prices rising, the first thought is usually simple. My car is going to cost more to fill. And that is true. But that is only the most visible part of the problem. Because fuel is not just something drivers buy at a petrol station. Fuel is part of the hidden machinery behind everyday life. It moves food from farms to warehouses. It moves groceries from warehouses to supermarkets. It moves parcels, furniture, clothes, electronics, building materials, medical supplies, and almost everything else people use. So, when fuel prices rise, the cost does not stay at the pump. It starts moving quietly through the whole system. And that is why one number on a petrol station sign can eventually show up in your grocery bill, your delivery fee, your travel costs, and the price of everyday items. The easiest place to see this is transport. Almost everything you buy had to move before it reached you. A loaf of bread did not magically appear on the shelf. The wheat had to be moved. The packaging had to be moved. The finished product had to be moved. Then the supermarket had to keep receiving deliveries again and again. That movement costs money. And a major part of that cost is fuel. When diesel gets more expensive, trucks become more expensive to run. When trucks become more expensive to run, delivery companies have to absorb the cost or pass it on. And in most cases over time, those costs get passed forward. Not always instantly, not always clearly, but slowly they work their way into prices. That is why fuel prices can affect people who do not even drive much. You might avoid the petrol station, but you cannot avoid the supply chain. Now, a lot of people ask a fair question. Why do businesses just raise prices? Why not take the hit themselves? The answer is that some do, for a while, but businesses also have limits. If a small cafe pays more for deliveries, packaging, ingredients, cleaning supplies, and electricity, those costs stack up. If a supermarket pays more to move goods across the country, that cost has to go somewhere. If a delivery company pays more for fuel every week, it cannot pretend nothing changed forever, so the cost starts traveling. The fuel company charges more, the transport company pays more, the supplier charges more, the shop pays more, then the customer eventually pays more. That does not mean every price rise is fair. It does not mean companies never take advantage of the situation. But it does explain why fuel is so powerful. It sits underneath so many other prices that when it moves, the whole system feels it. Groceries are one of the clearest examples. When you look at a supermarket shelf, you see food. But behind that food is a long chain of movement. Farm equipment may need fuel. Trucks collect the food. Factories process it. Packaging arrives from somewhere else. Distribution centers sort it. More trucks move it to stores. Then staff unload it, stack it, price it, and sell it. By the time you pick up one item, fuel may have been involved many times. That is why groceries can become more expensive even when the item itself did not change. The cereal box is the same size. The milk looks the same. The bread feels the same. But the cost of getting it there may have gone up. And because those costs are invisible, the customer only sees the final result. The price tag changed, but the hidden chain behind it changed first. The important thing is that fuel does not only affect products you can hold, It can also affect services. A plumber driving between jobs pays more for fuel. A delivery app driver pays more for fuel. A cleaner, courier, builder, landscaper, mobile mechanic, taxi driver, rideshare driver, or tradesperson all face higher transport costs when fuel rises. And even if they do not list fuel as a separate fee, it still affects what they need to charge to make the work worth doing. This is why rising fuel prices can feel bigger than they look. The price sign at the petrol station is obvious, but the second order effects are hidden. A business may not say this service costs more because fuel went up. They may just update their prices, or add a delivery fee, or raise a minimum order amount, or stop offering something that used to be cheap. The fuel cost disappears into the system, but the customer still pays for it. This is also why cost of living pressure can feel so frustrating. It does not feel like one thing gets more expensive. It feels like everything moves together. Petrol goes up, then groceries feel higher, then delivery fees feel worse, then flights cost more, then businesses raise prices. Then your normal weekly spending does not stretch as far. And the hard part is that no single bill explains the whole problem. Each increase might look small by itself. A few dollars here, a little extra there, a slightly higher fee, a smaller discount, a new surcharge. But when the same pressure moves through many parts of life at once, it starts to feel like your money is leaking from every direction. That is the hidden system. Fuel is not just one expense. It is a pressure point underneath thousands of other expenses. Now, fuel prices are not the only reason life gets more expensive. Rent, wages, interest rates, taxes, supply shortages, company pricing, global events, and demand all play a role too. But fuel is one of the easiest hidden costs to understand because it touches so many things. If something had to be grown, made, packaged, shipped, delivered, repaired, installed, or stocked, fuel was probably involved somewhere. That is why the number on the petrol station sign matters, even when you are not standing at the pump. It is not just the price of driving. It is the price of movement. And modern life depends on movement. So when fuel keeps rising, the real question is not only how much will it cost to fill the tank? The bigger question is how many other prices are about to follow it?